Hello everyone, happy Friday. Let's have a quick look at the charts. So Bitcoin is showing a little bit of a bounce here, which is good. The consolidation pattern we are expecting is still playing out. So we will see if we get a pullback over the weekend, then maybe another bounce and rinse and repeat. But for now, the swing high here, the lower one at around 27,500 has not been taken out. Let alone the one at $28,150, give or take. So until these swing highs get broken and we get a confirmed close above them, the consolidation will just continue. I do still think there is a good chance, dropping down to the 4-hour chart here, that we will get a scare wick into the double fair value gap on the 4-hour time frame, which would bring us to around 25,500, give or take. So I'm ready for that. I have entered, or I've added to my long exposure a little bit when I saw the momentum start the push upwards. But at the moment, as I said, the signs that this is a sustained rally are not there yet. If Bitcoin really wants to show us some strength, this fair value gap should offer us some support, and instead of getting the whole range pullback, Bitcoin could bounce from here in this fair value gap, but we will have to see. And as always, this move is very close to the weekend, so it could be just to trap retail, then we will go back to the range low. Everybody gets scared, sells over the weekend, then next week early up again, and so on and so on. The reaction on altcoins varies, but I want to have a quick look at the stock market indices. So both the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones have broken beneath the 61.8% retracement level, measured from the all-time high to the bear market low here. As I mentioned in previous videos, if this scenario happens, and it seems like, it could still turn back in or break back into the key retracement zone here, but as you can see, we got the dip, we got the retest. So if it does not get back into the zone today, we will probably see a deeper retracement back down to the 50% retracement level on the S&P 500, which is at around $4,156. As long as this level holds, you can see this is a level which has been significant in terms of rejections for a while. So a retest of it is very normal, nothing to worry about, but it has to hold. It can dip under it a little bit, it can wick under it, it can close a few candles under it, but if we get a confirmed close beneath it, which is like get one candle close, a pullback, and then a drop further down under that initial close, including the wick, then we could be looking at a potential further drawdown, but we can talk about that when it happens. The Nasdaq is the only one that had a positive reaction at around the range low, or the key retracement zone range low. So we will see if it follows the S&P 500 and the Dow, or if the S&P 500 and the Dow will just break back into the range. I think, or I lean towards that the Nasdaq is going to follow the other two. So we will probably see the Nasdaq do something like this, and then also retest this 50% level, because you can see here it acted as resistance several times in the past, finally broke through, got a little retest, and now we will probably just come down for another retest. Notice the lower lows of the lower highs here, of course. So this one, even if it pushes back up a little higher, as long as this swing high is not taken out. Let me mark it with the price. The trend, or the near-term trend, is to the downside on the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 and the down. Let's have a look at some altcoins. So ETH broke back above the now almost infamous $1,626 level, but we only got one candle close so far. So let's see if it can give us a retest and confirmation that it's actually going to hold, and then more importantly break above 1,670 if the market really wants to show us some strength and move up further towards 1,745, or if it's just going to dip back and continue ranging in this manner, which could happen if Bitcoin continues to range, the yellow arrow scenario. I don't rule out this dip yet, especially if Bitcoin does the retracement into the 4-hour value gaps at around 25,500, which I mentioned. ETH is probably going to take out this swing low here at around 1,530, and then maybe test the 1,475 level, or the area. APE. So APE did not dip under $1 yet. What I would like to see here, let's stay on the daily time frame. So if the candle close today is around here, maybe it will just keep going. That's always a possibility, because we have a pivotal swing low here, which is at around 128. May depend on your exchange a little bit, or very depending on the exchange you are using. But 128 level is a key level to keep an eye on. Otherwise, if the market starts to pull back over the weekend, assuming that this candle will not push further down, there is a fair value gap from this candle's bottom wick to this previous candle's top wick here. It's between 118 or 119 and $113. So if we get a pullback over the weekend, if APE is going to continue, it ideally should not dip below this fair value gap anymore, but find support maybe at around the 50% level, which eyeballing it is about this week's this week high here, and then move further up towards 128. And this is something I want to see confirmed first before I start getting interested in longs. Otherwise, I would still wait for the rate under $1. Again, if the Bitcoin retrace happens or the wick happens, APE could also wick towards $1. Otherwise, if we see strength, I will look for longs starting next week. AVAX has broken out of its descending channel here. Now we have to see if it can hold. First of all, if it can break through the pivotal swing low here, which is at around 967. My eyes are still on the $10 level. It's such a big level. It's a psychological number 2, the Big 10. So under it, I'm not really that interested in longing AVAX, because I think the pull towards $8 is still stronger than the pull or the push towards $10. We do see though that we are making higher lows here. So one thing that would be a bearish signal is breaking back under the swing low here at around $8.80. That would also bring us back into the descending channel, and then we would probably head toward $8. If $9.67 gets broken and flipped, then likely we will get a retest, a bearish retest of the $10. I don't think it will break through in one go. Probably something like this, best case scenario. So I will look at the chart again once the newly added alert at $9.67 gets triggered. BNB. So BNB has been wobbling around under $220, exactly as I was expecting. It didn't break down to 182 yet. I still think there is enough FUD going on, and until either of these levels get touched, I'm not interested in BNB. Phantom. So the reaction on Phantom has been relatively weak compared to the rest of the market, or at least some of the altcoins. You can see it here, it's not green, but the positive divergences are still developing and still not invalidated here. The momentum also shows us a light divergence, so I do think that Phantom has the potential to suddenly break up above 20 cents and then head towards 21.4, and ultimately the area I for at first here is these swing lows. Let me mark them with the price too. So 22.60, and ultimately this swing high here at around 24.60. I'm keeping an eye on this as soon as 20 cents breaks, and I like what the momentum indicators will look like at that point. I may market long it, but if Bitcoin does the aforementioned retrace into the 4-hour fair value gaps, I would expect to see FTM also dip under the swing low here, the pivotal low of 1780, and that then would lead me to switch to lower time frames, and that's the 4-hour for now in crypto for me, and look for a market structure shift, and then maybe enter a long or not. I have to see more price action here. Link is doing well. It is bumping against the $7.91 we had marked on our chart in our last or previous update. So it wicked above it. This could be a liquidity raid, and then we will move back towards the 50% retracement, or even lower the 62% retracement level one more time for good measure. Or if it's not a simple raid, but people got stopped out of their shorts, and now it will pull back a little bit, then people will start shorting it again, then we could get the true push through. It doesn't have to like retrace too much, somewhere in here. Towards $7.30, and $7 would be sufficient to wrong foot a lot of people, I think, and then the break upwards is also one level we can mark us. The $8.80 pivotal high, but let's see first what will happen over the weekend. Solana. So I got stopped out. If you follow me on Twitter or are on the Discord, I had secured this position with stop loss at break even. It got triggered. There was a crashing structure I mentioned. It didn't get invalidated yet. Only if price flips $20.55, the crashing structure will get invalidated. But the current strength in the market, if it continues over the weekend, I do not want to get stopped out at a loss after already seeing so much price action in my favor. So for now, I'm not in any short position on Solana anymore. If we get the same thing I was expecting, like it rejects here, doesn't even take out or like wick above 20.55 and just makes a U-turn from here, I will still look for a short opportunity, because I still think the target would be under $17. But if it moves above 20.55 over the weekend and then just keeps going, I will favor shorts, longs again. Excuse me. Lastly, XRP, also not as exciting price action wise, but it at least pushed above the 51 cents level that I had marked for myself. Not by a lot, but at least it's holding above it so far in Asia session. So I will be monitoring this during the weekend and keep my eye on this swing low here, which is almost at 49 cents. Maybe this one at 48.64. Ideally, I do not want these to get violated anymore. While the sideways consolidation may continue, not putting in like new lows, especially under 48.60, would be the ideal case to make for bullish consolidation rather than a bearish consolidation. That's it for this week, and see you again next Wednesday.